Hey, good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Open Mic. I'm your host, Ramsey Chiri, and I have with me tonight, and she wasn't around last week, Tanys Coughlin. Tanys?
Hi, everyone. Great to be here. Thanks for having me, Ramsey.
Hey, my pleasure. So, last week we talked about NLP and hypnosis. It was an interesting,
Mhm.
it sparked a lot of interest. And I thought, like, maybe we can continue about the different type of modalities and healing. And I know next week not next week, the next episode we have a guest on our show.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, and she'll be bringing different ideas and ways. So I won't talk much about it. It'll be coming. It's a bit of a surprise. So it's on November 4th. For whoever is interested, just be patient, put it in your diary, and something's gonna come up.
Awesome.
And for tonight, I thought maybe we can. Oh, before that, we have infomercials.
We have
Yes,
infomercials.
we have not had infomercials in a long time. Since the last time we had an infomercial was, I think, it was somewhere in May, June. I can't remember.
Probably, yeah.
Yes. So, Twillo Lifestyle. Get my
Twillo Lifestyle Community, Twillo Lifestyle Academy.
academy. Yes, has been up and running.
It
A
has.
lot of courses are happening. A lot of
Mhm.
great teachers. We joined forces a couple of times already in different podcasts for the Twillo, outside the Twillo. We're having an awesome community, which is amazing. And next week, there's a course. Well, I'm giving one. Uh,
It's going to be great.
meet, yeah, meet your spirit inspire next week. So whoever is interested, please do join in. And
Can you give us a little preview?
pardon?
Can you give us a little preview? What are we
Oh,
talking about in there?
meet your spirit inspire is a topic that is dear to me, and I'd like to work with people is to help them basically quiet their mind, go into meditative state, and listen to whoever is around. Hello, users. I think that's yeah. Whoever is around and be able to communicate. There's something called to have your guide or your guides to, or first of all, to understand who's around.
Mhm.
If it's possible to get names, what they do, and how they can help you, and how you can work with them
Mhm.
along your journey in this lifetime. So it's going to be an interesting course. Hope you can join us. No hopes, join us. Hope is in the past. Hope always keeps you in the past. So let's bring the future into the present and move it forward.
So, for
Uh,
those of you that don't know, Ramsey is quite a talented medium. He channels, he talks to the dead, he does all of that fun stuff. And he's very talented at it. He's been taking classes, and he's done readings for me. He's pretty good. You should probably reach out.
oh,
It's
thank
gonna
you.
be an awesome class. Yeah.
I'm melting over here. That is awesome. Thank you so much.
I am filled with gratitude because he and I support each other a fair bit, and that I'm eternally grateful for. So
Same here. Same here. Tannis is also great in everything that she does, and I always actually recommend her for whoever is interested to spark. I'm not going to say interested. It is to spark interest in your personal development, because
mhm.
personal development is not about going to class and getting educated in order to grow. Personal development is getting to know who you are.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. And I know during my journey, you also kind of like remove certain obstacles for me to see, and that helped a lot. And I'm very grateful for that.
Well, and I think we do that for each other. Not just us, even our whole community. really we work together to do that. So, that would be one thing that I think is pretty special about our community versus other ones, would be the cohesiveness that we have. I think it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So, mhm.
So
And so for me, the healing journey, a lot of it is about learning. Not necessarily classroom learning, but learning about yourself, right? That
yes.
is the healing journey, um,
So
in
what?
terms of our spiritual growth.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
So one of the things. Why do I have an echo? Oh no, it stopped now. Uh, for s- for a split second, there was an echo.
Sometimes when we don't have our earbuds in, it can.
Oh, so yes, one of the things is to get connected with your body. Uh, there are multiple exercises to do on how to connect, but one of the simplest way to get there is ask a question, close your eyes, and feel it.
Mhm.
You know, so whenever you have a blockages, which are it could be small trauma, it could be big trauma, whatever it is, anything that crossed your path during your life that you did not actually allow the emotions to flow through. You didn't sit with them and allow them to flow through. It just sticks somewhere in your body. And that's what causes dis-ease within the lifetime. It might not show up today. It will definitely show up tomorrow in different ways.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I do is you close your eyes and you connect with yourself. You just breathe in and out slowly, slowly. Just relax yourself and ask yourself a question. The question about the issue at hand and feel where it comes up.
Mhm.
It could be in your chest, your arm, I don't know, it could be different parts of the body. And that's where the emotion is stuck. That's where we have to work on. Work on ourselves, if you know exactly what it is, or seek help. One of us can help you. You can give us a call. Send us, don't give us a call.
You can call me, but
5 million people's calling, but you can reach us out. You know,
yeah.
the Twillo lifestyle or my website on sorry, yeah, either my website ramseychiri.net, or you can reach me on Facebook, Ramsey Chiri, or Awaken to Your True Self. And Tanys you have a couple of pages on Facebook, right?
I
I can't
do.
remember their
It's
names.
my personal one, so that's Tanys Rose Coughlin, because Rose is my maiden name. And then there's Twillo Lifestyle and Twillo Lifestyle Academy. And then we also have a group, Twillo Lifestyle Community. So, yeah. So you can reach out at any of those.
Yeah, and we'll be more than happy to guide you.
Mhm.
So Tanis also, just like me, is a Reiki master,
Mhm.
and maybe 100 other modalities.
I don't know about 100.
99.5. And same with me. We all did our trainings over the years, and we collected all these tools, and now we have matured to a point where we don't really do a single modality on its own. It's
Mm-mm.
based on intuition. It's based on feeling. It's very important. And we work directly with the person. So before we continue doing all these, teasers, I maybe we should sit and explain a couple of modalities.
Sure. What do you want
So
to talk about first?
you want to talk about Reiki?
I could talk about Reiki. That I
Reiki.
can do. That I've been doing for a long time. Okay. So that I always joke about Reiki being my gateway drug, because that was sort of the first thing that I jumped into. So I had my first Reiki session, and came out of there saying, like, I'd never felt so good. I need to learn how to do that. So went through all my training. So going through that, you learn a little bit about yourself along the way. because if you're a Reiki practitioner, it's also about doing your own work. I'm sure you found that, Ramsey, as you were learning about it. So Reiki itself is a Japanese healing modality that was downloaded by Mikao Usi. So at least the one that I'm in, my lineage, is Usui Reiki. There are other ones, but the one I'm in is Usui Reiki. The one I have is Usui Reiki. I have done Karuna Reiki as well, but my main one is Usui. And really, it's all about energy. So the blocks and stuff that you were talking about, Ramsey, those are basically dense pockets of energy that is just not vibrating as strongly as some of the others, right? Yeah. So they're just denser pockets that get stuck in the energy field. And so we vibrate between 62 and 73, 76 megahertz. And so those pockets would be vibrating lower. And so we don't want a whole lot of those because that's when we start to get really run down. We get, colds and flus and stuff. So whenever you put a low vibration with a high vibration, the low vibration raises. So we're like 63 to 78. Reiki masters, they have measured them channeling Reiki or life force energy, which is what it is, up to 1,000 megahertz. So kind of like when you have high vibration sound and crystal, and the crystal smashes or it dissipates, it breaks up, right? That's kind of what we do to the pockets, those denser pockets that we can feel when we tap in, like Ramsey was talking about. We just shoot the energy at it and it just dissipates those pockets of energy. So but the nice thing about Reiki is that it is very much like it's an intelligent healing. The energy has intelligence. And so it goes where it's needed. So it's intuitive driven. I do have, like for my own practice, I have like a regular set sort of thing that I go through in terms of making sure I get all the chakras and all different parts of the body. But it's very intuitive. So my guides will be like, okay, go over and do this part now. Now do the liver. Now do the third eye. Now do the legs. Right? And I could be going all over, but it wasn't always like that. So when I first started, it was, let's have a routine, make sure we cover everything, sort of thing. So that's just one energy healing, but there's so many different modalities of energy healing. The difference really between them, they're all running life force energy, which is the energy, that ubiquitous energy that makes us animate, right? It's part of our soul. It goes right in through all of us. The soul actually weighs, or this life force energy, when it's in there, it weighs about 3/4 of an ounce in the body. They've done studies like before death and after death, and that's how they found that out. So when we're running energy, it's really about how much we can channel. So everybody has Reiki. Everybody does. As you go through your training, it increases your capacity to run the Reiki. So you go from, the best analogy that I can use is everybody has like cocktail straw channel. And then you go through Reiki 1 and you have like a regular drinking straw. You go through 2, you've got like the milkshake straw. You go to level 3 and you have like the garden hose. And then you go through masters and it's like fire hose kind of thing, in terms of like how you increase your capacity to run the energy, which is what they call it. Because really you're bringing energy down through your chakra system and out your hands into the person's field. So as you put it in their field, you're breaking up those dense pockets. Right?
Yeah.
Did I miss anything?
Nope. I'll add a couple of things in my case, other than the intuition. And I'm sure if you might, this might sparks a memory, is that when I put my hand over the person's body, if it's close or even over Zoom, I feel where the blockages are. Mm-hmm. You get a strong sensation in the palm. Mm-hmm. It pierces sometimes if it's like a strong condensed energy in one spot, I feel it very strong. And if it's mild, it gets milder. So we work with that also.
Mhm.
Now, Reiki is one of the strongest modalities of energy healing.
I would say it's one of the most popular.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is international. There's also something else called therapeutic touch,
Mhm.
which I also took the modality. Therapeutic touch is lighter than Reiki, and they're trying to use it at hospices, uh, old old homes. Um, and the way it works is very simple. You just massage the energy field of the person.
Right.
You're not really diving deep into an emotion, into a blockage. You're just trying to, if there's any misalignment, it's just like, it's like petting your cat.
Mhm.
You don't put your finger into your cat, it's gonna scratch the hell out of you. Although it will be fun. But, but it's just like petting your cat, and that's therapeutic touch. It's
Yeah.
very, very light. And it just goes over the body from the head to the shoulders and all the way down to the feet, and then you ground the feet, and that will be the end of the session. Now, for those out there that are scientific geeks like me, I couldn't. I learned Reiki. I became a master, a Reiki master level 4, and I go, yes, it was interesting. How the hell does this work? And I wasn't accepting. I did it. I worked for over a year and a half on people volunteering, and through that, my psychic ability started to pop up. I started to see images. I knew the emotion that is stuck. I would sometimes see it. I see it in colors, but there was something. The scientific person in me wanted proof. So met somebody a while back. He worked with a doctor at McGill University
Mhm.
called Dr. Grat, and they came up with the mathematical formula on how energy moves.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
using the Fibonacci method. For
Ah,
those,
yes. Okay.
yeah, for those of you who don't know what a Fibonacci is, Fibonacci is a sequence of numbers. It starts with the 1 + 1 is 2, 2 + 1 is 3. So you take your result, add it to the one before, and you continue. So what it creates a spiral form. So when you look at clouds from top, you see them forming in that format.
Mhm.
Plants, animals, and all of us on this planet, I'm sure in the universe also, they also use. They don't use the Fibonacci. There's a mathematical formula that works in the background. The energy order of the universe works in such a way that it produces an outcome that we can measure through a Fibonacci method.
Mhm.
And he actually created like a windmill. He put it in an aquarium, and you point your hand like this, and it actually moves. The color, the density of the color, he knew exactly, because it was scientific, and that actually sparked a massive interest in me,
Mhm.
and that's what got me to continue doing. That's when I got therapeutic touch, and I also done reconnective healing and some other modalities, polarity, and all of these things. But here and there, it never ended, because I was acquiring so much information, and wanted to understand how it all works.
Well,
So
that brings to mind the Masaru Emoto study too, because that was another big one in terms of consciousness
mhm,
effect on physical, right? Because so the Masaru Emoto study was a Japanese scientist who proved that you can change the appearance or the qualities of water through prayer, actually, or through positive input. So whether it's saying words like prayer, whether it's putting a positive word underneath it, whether it's having positive lyrics sung to it, he found that when he took 2 samples, one sample from a polluted, well, both of them from a polluted dam, he took one to have monks pray over it, and the other one he froze it. And then he froze the one that the monks had prayed over. And the one that was prayed over was beautiful crystalline structures, and the other one was a mess. It was like globular and stuff. And so he did this over and over again in different places, like different ways of putting in positive input, and including energy healing and stuff. And each time when there was that positive input or stimulus to the water, it created this beautiful crystalline structure. They look like snowflakes. So if you guys haven't seen it, please look it up. It's quite fascinating.
Yeah.
That study.
I think it's in the movie What the Bleep Do We Know?
Oh, is it in there too? Yeah.
Yeah, I think
I'm not surprised. Yeah.
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 It's an interesting movie, by the way. I'm not getting paid for the commercial, but
No, but you're getting paid today.
So if we want to explain to people how to use energy healing in general terms,
Mhm.
how can we give them an example now?
Of how to do self-healing?
Yeah.
Okay, so we all have Reiki. So usually what I do is get people to visualize bringing energy down through their crown chakra. And really visualizing is everything, right? Your intention is everything. So energy flows where intention goes. So we're going to intend that energy comes down into our heart chakra and then out our hands. And I just want you to focus on that for a minute, just intending on bringing it down and taking some deep breaths. And as you breathe, bring that energy through. And I'd like you to notice if your hands are getting warm, because usually Reiki is a very warm energy. So that's and that's the difference too between Reiki versus things like aqua lead or Nocti, or I have another one, cetacean healing. They're all different qualities of energy. So they feel different when you use them. And they're all life force energy, but it's when you're tuning into a specific frequency of it, which is what the different modalities do. They help you to tune into different frequencies. They can be used for different types of healing. So let us know if you've had any healing or heat coming through your hands. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's right, Chem. Yeah. That the legend was that after doing that for a year, they actually had to close the hospital. It was a hospital for the criminally insane. And he did this for a year and had to close the hospital. They had to close it because all but 5 were rehabilitated in the hospital. So that's pretty powerful for the Ho'oponopono for sure. That's something I use a lot with my clients.
And that's a positive intention.
Yeah.
Be positive.
Yeah. So, yeah. So that's anybody else feeling the heat in their hands as you bring that energy through? Or a tingling? Some people feel tingling.
Well, if you don't feel it now, which is okay, there's another exercise to start to do, is get your hands close together until you feel your field, your own. And yeah, it's tingling.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you start to feel your field, and as you push, you feel that field is getting bigger and bigger. Like there's a
an energy ball.
Yes, thank you. Yes, it's an energy ball, and it starts growing and growing, and you can keep on compacting it.
Yeah.
And you can use this for multiple things. You can put a word in it, a beautiful word, I love you, whatever it is. You just put it in there, and with your intention, you can send it to yourself, to other people. You can grab it and put it in your heart chakra to stimulate that part.
Mm-hmm.
I find that to be extremely helpful also.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
And slowly, with those little techniques, once you put the intention of seeing the energy field coming in, automatically your hands gets activated. I'm
That's,
talking and I'm saying this, and they're already activated. I can feel it,
yep.
and then it's just not because I'm special. It's just because I've done this so many times that it just automatically kicks in, and I'm sure everybody can do it.
Mm.
Everybody, yeah.
Yeah, everybody has Reiki.
Yeah, you don't have to be a monk living in Tibet or somewhere else in a mountain and waiting for 20 years before you're able to do it. You can do it now on yourself today while you're listening to this episode. You're looking for a monk?
No, I'm looking to show the energy. So we actually have chakras, right? When you do energy healing, it's stronger in your palms. So I can actually show you the energy, which is pretty cool. So this is a pendulum, and it gets caught in the chakra of the hand. So if I put this over, and then I start to run the energy with my intention, and the more I relax, the larger it's going to be. So that's running the energy. And then I can stop it very quickly, just with intention. I don't know if you see my hand. So I just kind of closed the chakra. So then I can open it up again. And it'll start to go again as it gets caught in the energy. So my arms are up here. I'm not as relaxed as I could be, granted.
Yeah, I was going to say you're going.
I'm like,
yeah.
so not so relaxing, but it works better if I'm actually like right in front of me.
So you don't have
But
four
you
or
get
five.
the idea. You get the idea. It works pretty well like that. So you can. It's a nice way to actually visualize the energy, because you want to be able to see it. So pendulum allows you to do that. And that's actually one way that I check people's chakras when I go to do energy healing too. I'll actually go along before and see what the pendulum's doing. And then after the session, I'll go along and they'll all be lined up and ready to go. So, because that's the other thing we're doing, is making sure the chakras are moving when you're doing energy healing.
All the wheels are turning.
Yes.
See, there's another method to work on yourself, which is you can, and if you're good at visualizer, I don't know why I can't find my words today.
Yeah.
Work pendulum 2 for checking. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a great tool. So one of the ways is that you can lie down on the bed, and you don't have to sit and try to do that. You just visualize your etheric hands coming out. You get the energy in, and then your hands will start working. You put them around your head, not your physical hands, your etheric hands. You put them around your head, and you start moving slowly. So
we should probably let them know what that means, etheric hands.
Go ahead. Yes.
So we have an etheric body, which is like an energy body, that is different from our physical, right? Our physical body is different from our energy bodies. And so the energy bodies is what he's referring to as the etheric. If you guys take your hand and bring it down towards your other hand, in around here, you'll start to feel a little bit of resistance. Feels a bit like a jelly. And if you do this, you feel it kind of doing a, like as if ripple, as if it was jelly. That's your etheric body. So that's the one that keeps our physical body in place the way it's supposed to be. And so that actually, that, and then there's other energy layers, right? All different layers of the aura. So your etheric body is what he's talking about when he's just picturing his etheric hands. So these picturing energy hands coming and doing what he needs to do. So hi, Ted Bricks. Thanks for joining us. Good to see you here. Thanks for participating, Shem. That's great.
Thank you. So close your eyes Imagine that and start going over your body slowly, slowly, the neck, the shoulders, the heart. You can stop over the heart and then go slowly down and work your way all the way down to your toes.
Mhm.
And most probably, if you're just like me, you will just fall asleep halfway through.
Give it your time. You'll sleep great.
Or if you're if you can if you can meditate flat, you'll be able to do this exercise and remove. You can remove your own blockages.
Mhm.
You can remove them. It just starts to move away. Any little pains in the body starts to pop off, because what happens from a Fibonacci perspective when the energy moves in. So what happens is that I'll just explain what I still remember.
Mhm.
So we have blood that is moving in our veins. It's going all around, and that creates that magnetic field right over here. And with another magnetic field, if it is physical or imaginative, it still connects with it. You connect with it, and what you're doing is you're reoxygen is okay.
Reoxygenating,
Yeah, is
oxygenating,
you're gonna
reoxygenating. There we go.
reoxygenate your that part of the body. So what you're doing is you're moving blood from the top all the way down to the bottom, and you're moving it back up again. So you're actually helping the flow of circulation.
Mhm. Mhm.
And circulation brings oxygen,
Mhm.
and oxygen moves anything that is stuck in there.
Yeah.
Okay, that's from a silly scientific me that I still remember.
Well, and our natural state for our body is a state of health and healing, like a state of health. And so really energy healing just takes out those little dense pockets so that your body can heal itself. So, as energy healers, really we just facilitate the healing, and then your body does the healing itself. So that's the other piece. We just channel. That's all we do. We just channel the energy.
Guys, do try it. Do
Mhm.
try it, and
You can do it too.
give yourself a chance to master it.
Mhm.
Because I knew for myself, I have zero patience. After 2.5 seconds, like my brain
I
goes,
don't feel better.
it's like a squirrel. Ooh, there's something over here, and then I start jumping from one place to the other. So give yourself a chance, and I am sure you'll love it. You'll love it, and you'll be able to do more. And we'll figure out some other exercise to give you before the end of the episode,
Mhm.
just to help you uh, communicate with your body. That's what it is. It's all about bringing ourselves back in.
Yeah.
Okay, we are so distracted in these. Yeah. We're so distracted in these things that we don't realize where we are anymore. We're trapped. We moved from a okay, if you're from the early 70s, you're that like me. We used to have a TV with a couple of channels, and they used to start at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and they end at 10 or 11. I think 11 is too late. And then you
And you
have the
actually
next.
had to get up to change the channel.
Oh God, you have to move all the way to get up, lower, higher
Right?
the volume, change the channel. And we had a couple of channels, not that many, but it was limited. And most of my young days I spent it outside of the house.
Yeah.
That's how it's. And now most of the our days are spent inside the house in front of a big screen with hundreds other channels where you don't think or feel for yourself. You are thinking and feeling through what the TV is telling you to do. It's like you're watching a movie
Mhm.
and somebody dies and you start crying. Those emotions start coming in, but they're not yours. Nobody died, really. He just made $10 million dying on a set while you're sitting in
Thanks.
front of a set and eating popcorn.
Yeah.
But it absorbs us.
Mhm.
And what absorbs us is our imagination. So we're losing our imagination to the TV set. If we cut that a bit, I'm not saying like go to cold turkey and take that TV and throw it out of the window, but lay it off a bit. Give yourself time to be with yourself. And that exercise and energy healing actually helps you reconnect with every part of your body.
Mhm.
So
So
that's
here's another exercise they can try.
go ahead.
Put one hand on your heart and one hand on your solar plexus, which is just below your heart, like just underneath. And just feel. I want you to connect with those. So bring your attention to your heart and also to your solar plexus. And you'll start to feel the energy flowing. Now bring the energy down through your crown chakra, down through the third eye and the throat chakra, into your heart. Yes, thank you. Down into the solar plexus. So you have energy running down through the energy system. Can you feel that? As we do that and we bring it down to the heart and we send it out our arms, through our hands, into there. We have one hand going on our heart, one hand on our solar plexus. We've created a circuit, an energy circuit that's empowering through self-love. Feels awesome. So when I'm really having a rough day, I will often do that. Rough day means I'm not feeling secure usually. So this makes me feel secure because I'm doing that empowering. Solar plexus is empowering. Heart is about love. So empowering self-love. So it's a nice one to do.
Here you go. 2 exercises coming out of tonight's show. That is awesome.
There we go.
It's good to try these things. Like I said, it helps us out in many ways. It doesn't. I started. Here you go. No, detaching from the. Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Was that? Yes. Because what happens, I'll put it back up. What happens is, like I said, it takes over your mind. Your conscious mind becomes quiet, and all it's doing, the programming is programming your subconscious to feel and be in it. You're so in it that you just lose the world. You literally lose the world. And you do the same thing with this little same thing.
But aren't we astral traveling when we do that? Aren't we astral traveling to another reality? It's a make-believe reality, mind you.
It is, but I'd rather travel mentally by focusing internally and going outside. Well, outside this inside, than to have a TV control my emotions. Because what's happening with the TV is you become addicted.
Yeah.
It's another addiction, like sugar. Okay, we shouldn't talk about sugar because I love sugar. And yeah, find an addiction.
Cigarettes?
Pardon?
Cigarettes. Let's do that.
Yeah. Here you go. That's bad. Oh, that's awesome.
Really good. That's awesome. I just have Facebook user. Do you have Facebook user there?
Yeah, it's coming from what do you call it? Awaken to your true self. For some reason, it doesn't show the.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm glad it felt good.
Yes. So these are a couple of exercises that you can use. We continue talking about energy healing.
Do you want to talk about a couple of other modalities? So we've kind of talked about Reiki.
Yeah.
We talked about healing touch, therapeutic touch. Is there another one you want to talk about?
There's reconnective healing, but reconnective healing, I found it, well, it is just, I don't want to say anything about it. It's a beautiful modality. No, it's just, it didn't resonate well with me. So I wasn't, it's a
Okay.
beautiful modality. What it does is just you expand the energy field of the person,
Mm-hmm.
and the energy gets back to where it's supposed to be and releases any blockages.
Okay.
So the whole thing is about connecting to the field and expanding it, moving it upwards, downward, playing with the energy field, not playing, but working with the energy field of the person in front of you, and that will help them heal. And it'll take same thing, maybe half an hour, and you're good to go.
You too, Sham. Nice to see you. Thanks for coming. She has to
Thank
go.
you for coming. Yeah.
Yeah, so let's talk about that not everyone's going to resonate with every modality, and that's okay, right? We're not all meant to do every modality. That's,
No.
you really, to pick a modality, it's really to go with one that you're drawn to. Feel into it, listen to your body when you think about these different modalities, and really feel what your body's telling you, because that's how you know whether it's resonating with you or not.
Let's go back to the feeling. It's a good thing because we talked about how you feel where the blockages are. It's the
Mm-hmm.
same way. It's the
Mm-hmm.
same feeling. So it's not like, let me see where the wind is blowing. Okay, we're within my camera. It's about how does it resonate within you? If I sit on it, does Reiki make me feel good? And I can close my eyes and I can feel it. It just flows through, and it's easy for me to absorb it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's the same thing with food. If you close your eyes and say, if you're lactose intolerant, and you go cheese, and then it's just gonna be pain everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
Same thing. That's how you feel into things. I just wanted to clarify, just in case somebody
No, that's
just
good.
missed it.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So another one that I do is called Aqualead. And Aqualead is this, again, it's, we've talked about this being different qualities of energy. So when we pull Reiki through, for me, it comes through as heat in my hands. Aqualead comes through almost as cool. And the clients experience a different experience. So with Reiki, they feel hot and, sometimes tingly. With Aqualead, they feel like the waves of energy wash over their body with Aqualead. So that's when we talk about different qualities, that's kind of what we're talking about, is the quality of the experience. So whether it's quality of the experience as a practitioner or quality of the experience as the receiver, the qualities of the energy are different. So Aqualead heals the water in the body and also in the environment. So you can actually use it to heal rivers and lakes, oceans as well. So that's kind of a fun one. And another one that's a post Reiki master modality is Nukti, which is a galactic healing. And it's very, I describe it as kinetic feeling. So it's very high vibe. It can be intense, but good intense, not uncomfortable or anything. Just sort of there, like you feel it, because it can be pretty strong, especially if it's working on something. But what it does is it actually heals the frequency of grief and trauma at a cellular level. So much like the Emoto study talks about reprogramming the water, Nukti actually reprograms the cytoplasm in the cell so that it doesn't hold the vibration of trauma and grief. So that's a different one as well. So, and you won't see that very many places. That one was downloaded to me in 2019. So that was an interesting journey. Yeah, so I just started teaching that one. So you were in that class, right? How do you find it different?
One of the first. Well, we were a group. I wasn't alone. But one of the first.
The guides were like, you need to teach this. And I'm like, you haven't given me a manual yet. You give me a manual, then we'll talk. Well, then they sent
Ramsey.
Ramsey.
Well,
Ramsey. After me, along with 3 other of my
yeah,
psychic friends, to say, I really want to learn Nakti. And then we talk Nakti.
yeah. We all got this message that we needed to take it. We didn't know what it was. We had no clue, and we all pushed in order to get it. And it was one of the most interesting training that I've ever taken. And it was done through Zoom.
It was.
So during COVID,
Yeah.
and usually when you're doing energy healing, at least when I was doing them at the beginning, we didn't have COVID, so we did them in person and we practice on each other. So it's easy to feel, to touch. It's totally different. And then you're doing it on Zoom, but oh god, you can feel it. It comes out. It resonates out. When the symbols were giving out, they were coming with different vibrational energy that you can distinguish between one and the second. It was really interesting, and all that was done through Zoom.
Yep. Yeah. That's the other thing about energy healing. Like energy healing can be done at a distance because we're all connected. And when I do the attunements online, because I do a lot of training of energy healing online, I just astral travel to where the person is, and then I do the attunement, and then I come back. So I'm doing it physically here, but we were talking about that etheric body, astral travel. So I'm doing it like almost bilocating. So my energy is with the person that I'm doing the attunement on, and my physical body is here doing it, and they're just mimicking each other to do it.
I'm gonna explain this to our audience because somebody heard me say that and they said, "What are you talking about?" And I had to explain that to them. And it's important because not everyone is into this milieu, and they understand terminologies. We're not like physically moving from one place to another. For example, you're sitting over here and you have a friend which is across town, and all of a sudden you get this feeling that you need to talk to the person while the person is over there asking you for help.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he's coming to you and literally asking for help energetically, and all you get is like, shit, I have to call John. And you pick up the phone and you call John, and John is like, oh my god, I really needed you, thank you for calling. And then you go on with your conversations. And that's exactly what happens with those energy transfers from one place to another. When we you called it astral travel, you literally take your consciousness from one space into another. Okay, you're not zombieing out, by the way, or getting your soul out of your body. It's
Oh, no,
just
it's not that. Yeah.
your mental consciousness gets transported from one place to another. I like half of my hand. You don't see where it's going. Yeah. So your consciousness gets transported to the right space,
Yeah.
where it is required to do that healing, that energy healing, that message that needed to be that to go there. Hey Gary,
Hey, Gary.
that's nice
Yeah.
to see from his car.
From his car. Hello, Gary's car.
Hello.
It's kind of making sense now. Do you have any questions, Ted Brooks? Because
Yes.
we're happy to answer questions. Yeah. So I don't know whether you guys have seen the movie Avatar, because this is another way I describe it.
Oh yes.
So when in the movie Avatar, there's like Grandmother Willow, that's this tree, and it actually each of the ETs in the movie have these big long braids, and they actually connect up to this tree, and they all share a consciousness when they're all connected. So we're kind of like that. We don't have a tree, we have like energy lines that connect us. So if you picture the world like being this big energy grid all around it, and we're all connected to that energy grid. Okay, so if I want to go and send a message to Ramsey, I just go up my energy cord and all the way down to his energy cord, and it goes, Ramsey, I need to talk to you. And he goes, I gotta call Tanys. And sometimes it's not even that conscious, but that is how it can be done. So it's just like sending it up and down another energy tendril. That's another way of sort of describing it. The other way to think about it is there is no time and space, because that's a physical construct. So it depends on where you're at in your journey. But that's those are different ways to sort of visualize what we're talking about, anyways. Right?
It's like right now we're on. It's not a Zoom. It's I can't remember,
We're
Restream.
on Restream. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're in Ottawa, I'm in Montreal, and
Yeah.
we're together in the room. We're sharing this energy of space,
Mm-hmm.
and then we have people from different part of the country or the continent that are connecting with us. So there is no time and space. We're all sitting together in this room. It
Right.
is virtual, and this is the easiest way to explain it. But take that out of the technology, and there's a bigger one out there.
That's all energy. Awesome. So Ted Brick says, okay, I'll ask if I
Oh,
have any. It's just the astral travel that wasn't making sense, and now it is.
oh,
Awesome.
that's awesome! Awesome. Glad we were able to solve that mystery for you and help you out with it.
Absolutely. So the other one that I've done is cetacean healing modality. So cetacean healing modality is all the dolphin and whale energy, and it's quite. It feels a lot like the aqualid in how it feels. It was. I had to tell you a funny story. So we're sitting there, and it's me and the instructor in this class, and he decided to do it, even though it was only one person. And so we're sitting there doing the class. All of a sudden, I hear a dolphin, that, and I was like, and I'm looking around. He's like, "Did you hear that?" I'm like, "I heard that. Did you hear that?" He's like, "I heard it." I'm like, "We're nowhere near any dolphins." So, but we both heard it. So it was very much like we were obviously communicating. It goes back to the astral travel thing. We were obviously communicating across time and space while we tapped into that energy, the cetacean energy. So that's kind of cool. So there's all these different, healing modalities that have to do with energy, and it really is just the different qualities of energy that we're using.
Even hypnosis is a type of energy healing. You don't sit and move the energy field, but you take the person on a visualizing journey,
Mm-hmm.
a journey through visualization, and that visualization take you through a safe space where you can connect with yourself and allow the energy to move. So if there's any blockages, emotional, whatever it is, it just comes out, and then you sit with it. You allow that emotion to flow directly. It's a second time as another form of energy. I didn't think of it now, but while you're talking, I go, yeah, makes sense too. It
Yeah.
is also energy healing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just like the Ho'oponopono, because you can actually feel it once you repeat it. When you start, you'll feel like a tension somewhere, and then you start doing the Ho'oponopono, and you actually feel it releasing wherever that was blocking. So it's yeah. The other one I guess we could talk about is the etheric surgery. That's getting a little bit heavier duty into stuff. Um, but because we astral travel, we have an astral field and we have an etheric field, and we sometimes will get dense pockets in those as well. And so those go all the way through the body. So there's times when we do what's called etheric surgery, and it's not surgery like no one's opening you up. It's not that kind of surgery. um, it's all done visually by visualizing stuff, and then you're just sort of. I use my body. You don't really have to, but I use my body because I like the physicality of using it. I don't really have to, but you know, um, you can't, right? So I do that, and then I use a wand, and I sort of open them up, open the energy field, because we do have layers of energy. So I open that layer, and then I go in and I pull out what I need to pull out, and then I sew them up just by pinching together the energy field, and then I heal the energy field with energy. So that's just another, that's a quick overview. It's a little more, get more into it after, but it gives you a little bit of a taste of what it is. It's really good for aches and pains, and you know, if you've got a long time injury or something that's like really bothering you, there's often a reason in the astral layers or the etheric layers that we can
Pull out.
pull out.
Extract.
Extract. Yes. Nocti level 2 is almost ready, by the way.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm. Just waiting for the manual.
It'll be shortly.
I'm sure it will.
After the full moon. We should soon, no?
I think so. I'm not.
Yeah.
I should know this,
I
but
don't know why I said after the full moon, but it should be after the full moon.
okay. Yeah, I think we have it scheduled even, actually. When do we have it scheduled for? Next month, I think. Nocti 2 is actually on the 12th of November. So I guess they better bring it to me soon.
Yeah. And by the way, since we were talking about the full moon also brings in different types of energy. Everything in the universe is energy. Even when you sit in the sun, you bathe in the sun. That's energy. The vibrational energy of the sun gives you vitamin D. It burns your skin. It gives you color. You look good. You feel
energy.
good. Yes, it's all part of the energy. So even the moon has a more softer type of energy.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. It doesn't pierce. It's not a Reiki type, a sun-like, but it is more of a soft one. And what it does, you can clean all your crystals, like the one that Tanys was using, the pendulum. You can clean it by putting it outside during and all those beautiful stuff. Yeah. Put them. I had them all on a sill. I'm waiting for the full moon to come in and just clear them all up. So you can put them there, and it just clears the energy.
I find that the full moon actually charges them.
Mm-hmm.
So if you put them out like midday, the day before, the sun of the day will like clear it all out, and then leave it out overnight during the full moon, and then it charges them all up.
All back to life.
Mm-hmm.
And what was I gonna say? I don't know. It wasn't important, I guess.
It'll come back if you're meant to.
It will come back, yeah.
You trust the guides on that. Yeah.
So, what other energy healing or modalities or?
Well, there's ceremonial healing as well, which is also an energy healing.
Mm-hmm.
So I do some of that. My Celtic shamanic high priestess training was an energy healing. It has energy healing components to it. So doing ceremony, you're bringing in energies to create a change in that. So doing things like cord cutting and curse removals, those are like ceremonies that help to create a change in your energy field. So that's another one. Different, than the on the bed energy healing. But
no, that cord cutting is very important. And just to explain it a bit in more detail for the audience, we're like octopuses. We form connections with each other, with people at work, with people at home, with friends, family, whatever. We form these connections, and with these connections, we start to feel each other. If you're well-centered and able to feel others, you'll be able to feel others with that. Now, sometimes we get drained from certain connections. And that's why a lot of people go into a hermit position. It's like, okay, you know what? I'm closing everything. I'm going to the countryside for the weekend. I just don't want to see here. You just want to regain your energy back because, it's draining at a certain point in time.
Doesn't that sound awesome?
It does.
I think I might have to do that soon.
So it is really good to disconnect, but sometimes there are cords that literally suck the life away.
Mhm.
Um,
You
for what?
often find this with like exes. Like that's a big example is like an ex.
Yeah, but I was gonna go because sometimes people need help, and what they do, they just latch.
Yes. Yeah,
Okay,
that's true.
unintentionally they do
Yeah.
latch. That causes this connection to be very strong and it drains. So access is a good one too, and a good cord cutting is important to be done on a regular basis. Not to say, "Oh, I don't want to see you. I'm cutting cords, closing
No,
doors,
no, no.
bridges, firing up something." No, it's just preserving your energy and preserving your sanity. So instead of having your faucet is running all the time, all you want to do is close it. It's not that you hate the sink, it's just you need the water, and what do you call it, talk about on how to cut a cord.
Sure. Before we do, I just like to add it's actually really good for your relationships to cut the cord because it's like giving you a fresh start. You know, we carry all this like he left the lid off the toothpaste again or she did this again and it like the little things, right? And you
Mm.
start they build up and it creates like some density within that cord that connects the two of you. So it's really nice to just do a cord cutting and then the next time you see that person, you like big hugs, lots of love, and it just creates a beautiful new connection with them. So it's about renewing connections if you choose. And the ones that you don't choose, then you don't renew it. So it's like giving you more freedom to choose who you wish to be connected with. That's how I see it. So there's varying ways to cut your cords. I do a few different ways. I use Reiki. I'll call in Archangel Michael, who comes in with these big gold scissors. They're huge. And he comes in and cuts the cords, and then I usually heal them. Um, but you can do it just with intention, saying, I want to cut my cords, right? Um, Often you can do it just with a cutting motion with your hands. Um, for me, I like the ceremonial version that I do, and I use an afami, which is a ceremonial knife, and incense. And I go around the person, um, symbolically cutting all of those cords. Um, I like that version. That's just my preference for that.
Yeah.
Do you have another way you like to do it? I know there's a
Well,
variety of
there
ways.
are varieties of ways. What I do, I close my eyes, I see the other person, and I sometimes I'm in a funny mood, and I use a chainsaw.
All depends on
Or
the cord, folks. I've seen them from like tiny thread to this big.
so yeah,
Mhm.
and I it is a small ceremony because you have to be with yourself and be with the other person also in the same space, in the same visualization,
Yeah,
and
you
you
don't have
cut
to be
the
with the
cord.
person for it, by the way.
Pardon?
You don't have to physically be with the person.
No, 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 no.
So when he says same space, he's talking energetic space,
Yeah,
not physical space.
through visualization only.
Mhm.
You cut the cords. You, if you need to seal them, you burn them. You do whatever you want. Put um, a healing light white around you. Rub it in, close the field so that there's nothing leaking anymore. It's like you have a pipe that is leaking water. All you have to do is just cut it, close it from one end and the other end, and you're good. And then you'll come and reconnect it with a new pipe that is not leaking. So you cut that, and you cut it with love and compassion.
That's
Okay,
right.
it is very, very important that this ceremony is done with love and compassion.
Yeah.
It's not about I don't like you anymore. It is about, okay, I need to preserve myself, and I will be with you when I'm ready again. That's all. And it
It's
is
love
very,
and compassion for self,
yeah,
right? Love and compassion for self.
very important on both ends. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
the interesting thing is, um, when I first learned how to do this, my teacher was like, so just so you know, when you do this, you need to tell your clients that they might get a call from somebody they haven't heard from for a while, especially if they're cutting that cord. And I was like, yeah. I had a cord cutting. A friend I hadn't talked to in a long time called me. Since then, I've had numerous clients that we were cutting cords for their ex-boyfriends, ex-girlfriends, and they would hear from them within a couple of days. Even if they hadn't heard from them in 5 years, they would text within a few days. And often that's because we are connected and we feel the change. That just tells you how much they've been pulling on your energy, right? If they actually feel it after 5 years, the change and how people feel, it's not so much conscious. It's like, ooh, I better call her. Something's wrong. Nothing's wrong. You're just not taking my energy anymore.
Yeah, and people do feel it. They feel it in a subtle way. If you're really connected, you can feel it in a strong way.
Yeah.
You can feel it, like in my case, I had an old friend, and I actually felt it I felt the energy around me shake, and I knew exactly where it's coming from. Mm-hmm. And I go, oh, that's beautiful. May he be in peace. And it needed that cut because there was too much stuff going on. So a light connection, you'll think about the person, you might want to call them. A strong connection, you can actually feel the energy shift.
Yeah.
And it is important to be done a couple of times a year.
Yeah. If I had my careers, I'd be doing it once a month. That's what I would do. When I do that, I feel good, usually, if I've done it once a month. Yeah.
So I do advise for people to do that regularly. Mm-hmm. And again, guys, if you need help, just put a note in the on Facebook or YouTube, and we'll get back to you with the answers on them. They're very simple. We'll get you we'll get you links to maybe stuff on the internet or videos on YouTube that we actually have listened to and we think they're worthy. Well, we can share them with you. There's no problem whatsoever.
Or we can do cord cuttings.
Or we can do cord cutting for you. You can contact us. All right, we're on the hour. Actually, we're 1:07.
Yeah.
It was an awesome evening. Pardon?
Time goes so fast.
It does. It's way too fast. But actually, it was very informative. I'm glad we were able to solve certain mysteries I can't remember who was.
Ted Bricks.
Ted Bricks. Yeah. He's the one that had an astral question, which is awesome. We're very happy to have resolved that issue. And if you need anything else, please do let us know. We're around.
Yeah. And if you have questions, please do.
Yeah. And please don't forget to check twillifestyleacademy.com.
.ca.
My apologies.
Mm-hmm. .ca. We also have a brand new membership site. So if you guys want more content and stuff, please feel free to check us out, twillolifestyle.ca.
Yeah. And it was insightful. Thank you very much. And please keep us in your diary. We're on every 2 weeks on a Friday at 7:00. And next episode, we have a third person with us. It's going to be awesome. We're not going to tell you. We'll post it on Facebook, YouTube, and we'll announce our beautiful guest next week. And on that note, have a pleasant evening or morning, wherever you are. And we'll see you in 2 weeks' time.
Thanks for sharing your energy, everyone. It's a pleasure.
Thank you. Right.